I don't mean to say this like to be disrespectful, and maybe this is, some people are gonna think this sounds dumb, but I feel like there's a deeper reason why, people of color and specifically the Black community have been relentlessly persecuted. Like, I mean, just the things that happened during slavery alone, like, were insane. But I don't know, the more I learn about Black history and the ways that, people who literally worked in the government, like the CIA, all these different people in power were trying to ruin the Black community. And it makes me think, dude, I feel like, is there something more going on here than just racism? Because it's like, come on, you're telling me you're doing all of this stuff just because you don't like someone's skin color? I feel like, what if, I have this theory that, like, what if Black people have some type of superpower? Like, what if they have, I don't know, if they're just born something with something very valuable that we don't really know about, but maybe, like I said, these people, these rich people and these people in power, maybe they figured it out a long time ago, and maybe that's why they were like, oh, we have to like get rid of them, blah blah blah. I don't know, I feel like maybe they have something special that we are not taught about, that is linked to them being people of color. And I've seen some Black creators come on here and try to explain how special it is to have melanin in your skin and how it has all these different properties. But I don't know, I just feel like I feel like this, I have this theory that this goes so much deeper than maybe a lot of us realize, because I'm sorry, but I don't think you're gonna go out of your way for all these hundreds and hundreds of years to try to ruin one group of people over something as silly as, oh, their skin is a different color. Like, I feel like there's something that we don't know. I'm telling you, there's something special about them that they don't want us to know. Okay, this is just something that I've been thinking about recently, and I'm like, maybe if there are some Black creators that maybe they already made a video and I just didn't see it, I don't know, but like, I don't know, maybe this sounds dumb. Like, or maybe this is like, yeah, no shit, Sherlock, but it's just something I was thinking about.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing amazing. Thank you so much for clicking on this episode. I really do appreciate your love and support on this channel. So I just happened to come across this video of this white TikToker who had a question like, she doesn't understand why, her community is really obsessed with Black Americans, like how they've spent hundreds and hundreds of years, doing bad things to Black people, and she does not understand that it's just racism, and she says this has to be far beyond racism, or maybe people in power know something that they all don't know, because they cannot understand that you can treat people like this, discriminate people like this just because of their skin color for hundreds and hundreds of years. And she's asking a question, or she's trying to understand why these have been happening to the Black Americans or Black people in the United States of America. So I did a little bit research on that, and on this episode we get to learn about the history, context on these, the fear of Black power that they do have, the cultural fascination, projection of desire and fears, and Americans' identity crisis. And doing this video have gotten me to learn more of history, especially the American history, getting to unlearn and relearn of things that I had learned earlier before that are actually not true. So I want us to watch these videos together, guys. Every clip and every stitch that you'll be seeing on our today's episode, credits belong to the original creators of these videos that you see on your screen. So let's just dive right ahead, and we'll come back with more commentary.
I feel like there's a deeper reason why, people of color.
You're actually very close to the truth, and superpower is an understatement. And to take it a step further, actually, I found out something new about melanin that I actually didn't know. And I'm going to let that be a little secret for now, because I find it amazing that I just keep finding about all these wonderful things. And I already knew so many different wonderful things about it already, about myself. So yeah, keep going. Get that shovel, because it's going to be a long trip. That rabbit hole deep as fuck. Y'all need to go check out her original video. It's much longer than that. You just got to.
Oh yeah, it's something more, all right. It's because we're God's chosen people. And it ain't even got nothing to do, it ain't even the white people doing it. It ain't even the government doing it. It's the devil. Ain't that something? That's what's really going on. You get into it. It goes back to Exodus and Leviticus and Numbers and Deuteronomy. The children of Israel. We are the children of Israel. That's what they trying to hide. That's why they switched the maps. That's why they say Egypt is over there. That's why they say Israel is over there. Because America's ancient Israel. And what we call African Americans are the Israelites. We are the children of Israel. We are the children of Abraham. We are the chosen people of God, and America is the chosen land. This was our land that we was on. It's so obvious, ain't it? Ain't it though, girl? You see it, right? Like, why is this going on? Because the devil has tricked the people, because that was his last trick. He don't want the children of Israel to even know who they are, so they will be disconnected spiritually from God. Back in Deuteronomy, when people was praying to all their little gods, he was tricking them then. And it never stopped. He's tricking them now. He's tricked everybody into going against everybody to make it look like something that it ain't. The devil's way trickier than people think. It's all the devil trying to trick black people into not knowing that they are the people in the Bible. King David and all of them. The children of Israel. So African Americans, what we call African Americans, we ain't come from Africa. We been here. Been here. Samaria, all of that. Bethlehem, all of that, right here in Utah. Look it up. Ancient Egypt was California. The Gulf of California is the Red Sea. The Gulf of Mexico is the Persian Gulf. Yeah. Israel, baby. You on to something. You're definitely right. I love y'all.
This creator is talking about how it has to be deeper than racism, and because they've been going hard in the paint for like millennia trying to subjugate black people. And my tinfoil hat go crazy when it comes to this specific subject. Like, I'm going to sound insane, but when I was younger, I watched an episode of Ancient Aliens or something about the solar system on TV, and they basically had said that there's a high likelihood that Mars once inhabited life because you can find water and ice on Mars. And where there is water, there is life. Or where there is water, there is at least indication that a environment was able to host life, right? So Mars is across from having ice and particularly water on it. It is far away from the sun so that it has fairly cold temperatures. And I swear I'm going somewhere with this. You know, my favorite movie growing up was Superman, and in Superman, Krypton was destroyed and Superman was sent to Earth by his parents because it was the next habitable planet. And I really be feeling sometimes like that's what happened. Like, I do feel like sometimes that Earth is a colony planet, and systemically there have been just efforts to colonize all aspects of it, to control it and its resources. This comes down to everything from like the monarchy and monarchies saying that they're descendants of God or descendants of the sun or the sky. And more times than likely, how has that God been made to look? Also, when you look at historically, race aside, because race is a construct, like all around the world, ancient people have been deeply melanated. They could be what you consider to be black. They could be aboriginal. They can be just deeply melanated, like Indian folks, right? Like, they are deeply melanated people all around the world. So if you have people who are originally from a place that like gets no sun, super cold, they'd probably prefer to stay in a dreary, sunless environment like England. and to survive and spread out generationally, they would have to breed with people who have the genetics to sustain their genes in this new environment. So I think that's a part. It would also explain like government obsession with Mars. Like ever since I was a kid, they've been sending rovers to that motherfucker like every other year just to see like is there life? Is there life here? Can we build a space colony here? Why are y'all so obsessed with this planet? Unless you try to go back.
Well, that's because it has nothing to do with not liking someone's skin color. It's about the delusion of superiority. It's about hierarchy. It's about the fact that they literally did not see us as human. We were property to do with whatever they wanted, unchecked and uninhibited. Before we were even freed, they wrote about how we were undeserving of freedom. Noah Webster. And then the people that they used to own had the audacity to try to stand toe-to-toe with them as equals and ask for rights in their country where they were the boss. It made them quite angry and resentful, and that is why y'all think it made them quite angry and resentful. And that's why y'all think that hatred is the face of the ism, but it's not. It's the deep-rooted hierarchy. Because how dare we upset the natural order of things? Start reading, writing, and trying to go to school? College? Yeah, that's why you have tuition and the bar exam. How dare we own thriving neighborhoods and businesses? Can't have that shit now, can we? Tulsa, Rosewood. How dare we try to hold government office over them? Oh, hell no, Wilmington. And how dare we, like a motherfucking phoenix, just keep rising up out of the ashes? How dare we have America looking inclusive? How dare we have the Olympics looking hella black and then the Super Bowl? But baby, the real straw is when we had the White House looking hella black, because it was then that they needed to make America what? Yeah.
So, Keela, I really appreciate that you're seeking that answer to that question. And I'm not doing this to answer the question because I don't know either. As you said, there's been a lot of black creators that have, done everything from just scientific reasons, like animal hate, like a lion hates a cheetah, all the way to religious, like we're the people of Judah, we are the chosen people, and those other people are not, they're the Edomites, and so they, so they hate us because of that. There's all kinds of theories, and but I am as confused as you are. I don't know. We just go day by day, and we live through this microaggression, this stress of being, and there's different levels of it, no matter where we are in the world. Like Africa has a high level of it, but even though they don't necessarily see the hand that's shown, that's doing the acts of hate against them, but that hand is heavily on Africa, and over here, it's here and it's in a different way, like right now we got a. They're disbanded. They're trying to disband our rights and our ability to fight back against discrimination and everything. But we can talk about the details all for ad nauseum. But the fact of the matter is, I completely agree with you. And yeah, there is some kind of reason. Some reason they never say. They never say what it is. They'll just have these ancillary, easily debunked reasons. Oh, the crime rate is like, well, the crime rate is higher in your community. What are you talking about? you know. You're not, well, they won't come out and say we're not citizens here because we are, but they'll try to act like, well, this is a so-and-so nation. No, it's not. How's that when the first person that died was one of us? As a soldier, as a free soldier. So anyway, yeah, a good question. I hope more and more of your kind. I don't know if you're actually YT or Hispanic. You kind of look a little Hispanic, but I hope people more are interested in trying to figure this out and to end it. Because it's like you look at other races and they try to be fair with them. Other cultures, they try to be fair. They try to be inclusive of other people, but for some reason, it don't matter who you are. I don't care if you're the second coming of Martin Luther King. They have a serious problem with us even just existing. They don't mind us existing because they like the culture that we bring, but just us. Yes, there is something going on, and I'm looking for the answer too. But like I said, I appreciate that you made this post and that you're looking for the answers just like us. Peace.
Yeah, so guys, when I saw this, I was like, let me research and get to learn more why these people are actually obsessed with Blackamericans or Black people. And I got to understand that the obsession many white Americans have with Black Americans often comes from mix of fear, fascination, envy, and appropriation. And I asked ChatGPT, and it also got to give me some reasons why these dynamics actually do exist, like historical roots of control and power. And from slavery onward, white America has been invested in controlling Black bodies, labor, and culture. That control created an ongoing fixation that is still happening till today. The obsession was and is still about domination, watching, surveilling, and regulating Black life while simultaneously relying on it for wealth, status, and identity. There is also fear of Black resistance. And white supremacy historically has feared Black liberation because a free, empowered Black community exposes America's contradictions. Just like now that we have actually social media, you get to find that so many people actually learning about the true American history, or, unlearning of what you've learned about Black Americans and the American history. And, the reason as to why people are like, I see sometimes people be like, are you learning of this now? Like, why did you not know about this? Some of these things, especially when you're not living in the United States of America, you don't get to learn about them. Like, it's not or was never shown on mainstream media. And now that we have social media, you're finding that people are getting to learn more things and learn of, about Black Americans and the American history. And you also get to understand that laws, policing, and surveillance often stem from a kind of obsessive need to monitor Black progress and maintain control, just for these people to feel like they're in control of Black Americans, and they always surveilling them, always policing them. And you also what happened in DC that everyone is talking about. Cultural fascination. Black Americans have shaped global culture, music, fashion, language, sports, art. White Americans often imitate Black style, slang, and creativity while denying or downplaying its origin. And when you talk about especially like fashion, music, and even like, let's talk more of, sports, where I've seen when you are in America and you are doing something and it's just for you and your community as a Black person, then you are a Black American. But when it comes to sports, I get to, always ask myself, when I see people running out there or when I see basketballers winning out there, they do not term them as Black Americans. They are termed as Americans. And I don't know why there is that difference, because I feel like if you want to term them as Black Americans, then even when they are winning awards out here, when they are winning trophies out there, then they should be termed as Black Americans, because like, why do you only want them to be Americans when it's only benefiting the country or making the country look great? You know, it's so crazy. And this thing, I don't even know why they accept it or why does it happen, because if there is sometimes I understand for these creatives or for these runners or these footballers or these Black people that, you know, bringing trophies and, you know, winning things for America, some of them have to do it because that is their career, and they don't maybe have a say into, you know, they cannot just go there and say that, no, I want to be termed as a Black American out there, you know, when it comes to, you know, winning these, you know, running and all that. I understand, but if it were up to me, or if it were maybe too many Black Americans, if asked, they would want them to be termed out there as Black Americans and not just Americans when it comes to these, you know, people who actually do win trophies. So with this, you also get to understand that this creates a strange paradox, where they reject Black people socially but consume Black culture endlessly. There is also projected desires and fears. Historically, myths about Black men and women were created to justify slavery and segregation. And these are like dangerous stereotypes, guys. These myths also reflect white Americans' projections of suppressed desires or insecurities. And this obsession plays out in pop culture, interracial relationship, and even politics. When you also get to understand about America's identity crisis, Black Americans are central to America's story, its sins and its charms. The civil rights movement, cultural innovation, and resilience expose the truth of the American dream. And this is why you find most Black people have been teaching people that there is nothing like the American dream. They have been preaching it out here. And now it's just lately I've been seeing people saying that the American dream is no longer there, you know, the white Americans, and they're getting to learn or see the reality of what America has always been. And they're being surprised thinking that the American dream is no longer there. But in real sense, there was never an American dream. It was never there. It's never been there, and it's never gonna be there. And Black Americans have been warning people about this. Even like outside America, people believe that, you know, going to America is making it in life. You know, you're going to, you know, the American dream and, you know, the land of milk and honey where you can accomplish everything, when you can have everything. And this is why you see even with this obsession, is because they don't want this exposed, or they don't want this to be revealed to people out here. You also get to understand that white Americans consciously or unconsciously often measure their own identity in contrast to Blackness. That creates fixation, admiration, and resentment at the same time. It's just the other day I did a video where this woman decided to come for Black American women just because of this art that the American Eagle did with Sweetness Twin jeans. And, you know, it just shows how obsessed some of them actually are with Black Americans, and some of them they don't want to agree that they're actually obsessed, and they, you know, the admiration and all that. I also got to understand why these things are still being done, or the controlling about Black Americans and all that is happening. Or what this lady is asking is that white Americans cannot escape Blackness because you can't tell the story of America without it. And that's why the obsession will never go away. And when you get to ask yourself next time, are white Americans obsessed with Black Americans? There's some that all the things that you need to understand, like Black Americans are the foundational, the contradiction, and the cultural heartbeat of the nation. Like, America would not be diverse today were it not for Black Americans. Some of the people that are actually going to the United States of America, being able to study there, being able to get married there, it was all the sweat and the fight that was put there by Black Americans, you know. When we look at this topic, there is a lot that we can learn, but I still get to ask myself, apart from this that we've actually gotten to research and understand, is there more hidden things that we don't know? Or maybe is there more that, you know, that some people like us don't know, why this obsession still exists till today? We would really love to know on the comment section. Keep on educating us and educating people on the comment section. And let me know what your thoughts or what's your take on this on the comment section. I really do appreciate your love and support on this channel. Thank you for watching up to this part, and until the next episode, bye.